and that is the news that Caitlin Clark is out with a groin injury. Now, if you guys have been watching the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark play over the past 3 games, it is very clear that Caitlin Clark is not feeling like Caitlin Clark. It felt like something was wrong. She wasn't hyping up the crowd like she normally does, and even in her pre-game routine, she was doing some things differently. Some fans also noticed that she had her upper left leg taped during a couple of those games. She has only made 1 3-pointer in her last 3 games, and even just last game, she only had 6 points. But it wasn't only her performance on the court that was worrying fans, it was also just her demeanor, her energy.
Have you seen the footage of Caitlin Clark's injury? She goes down clutching her groin, and the silence in the arena speaks volumes. But here's the thing, this didn't come out of nowhere. Was the WNBA's biggest star pushed too far? Stay with us as we uncover why fans are demanding answers and solutions. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
I was like, I think Caitlin's hurt. I'm not going to be surprised if sometime soon the Indiana Fever pulls her and sits her for a few games. I think she is still battling some sort of injury. So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things pointing to the fact that something wasn't right. And I have to be totally honest with you guys, I'm not surprised by this news at all. And less than 12 hours later, the news dropped from the Fever. But it's a tough blow not only to Caitlin, because we know that she loves to be on the court. It's a tough blow for the Indiana Fever because that is their superstar.
Imagine this, Caitlin Clark limping off the court, her hand clutching her groin, and her face etched with pain. This wasn't a freak accident. It happened during the Seattle Storm game. A moment no fan will forget. Clark had been driving to the basket. Then suddenly, it all stopped. She collapsed, visibly struggling to even stand, and the arena held its breath. Trainers rushed in, and while her teammates tried to stay focused, it was clear the momentum was gone. But the bigger question is, how did it even come to this? If you'd been watching Caitlin's last few games, the warning signs were hard to miss. Her 3-point shooting, usually automatic, had taken a dip. Fans blamed her timing, strategy, even fatigue.
Whether some fans like it or not, it was proven the last time that she was out with injury that the WNBA does better when she is on the court. Whether she is playing to the best of her abilities or not, they are still a better team with her on the court. And it's also a huge blow to the WNBA. The WNBA ratings across the league dropped by over 50% when Caitlin Clark was out with injury. And this is obviously such a crucial time and a crucial year.
Then came her cautious warm-ups, her slower step on defense, and moments of hesitation that just didn't feel like her. In fact, during a key game against the New York Liberty, she skipped her usual explosive cuts mid-play and opted for softer passes instead. Even her plyometric drills, normally so smooth, started to look shaky. But it wasn't just a slump. It was her body signaling something bigger, and nobody seemed to notice. Experts say this isn't unusual. Studies on professional athletes show that playing through pain increases the risk of long-term injuries by nearly 50%. And Clark isn't any athlete. She's the face of a league desperate for attention. Which brings us to the controversy. Some fans are pointing fingers at the Indiana Fever coaching staff, accusing them of pushing her too hard. Coach Christy White, under fire, defended her decisions by stating that no player flagged discomfort before games. Yet this response only sparked more outrage online, with some saying it's her job to spot the signs, not just rely on a player toughing it out. So, what does this mean for Caitlin Clark's career, and can the league afford to lose another star to injury?
If we go back to the preseason, I think Caitlin Clark went into training camp, or she at least went into the preseason games with a quad injury. This is something that dates all the way back to the beginning of the season. My initial thoughts on this injury, my initial concerns with this injury is the fact that it is something that is still lingering and it seems to be jumping around. Now, if you have an injury and you don't allow it to heal all the way, your body starts compensating in other ways. And I'm not sure if she initially got this injury because of the amount of muscle that she put on during the off season.
Her setback isn't just bad luck, it's a stark reminder of a recurring problem. The WNBA's struggle to protect its biggest talents. But Clark's injury isn't the only example. Let's talk about how the league's physical play style could be hurting its athletes. You know what's crazier? Caitlin Clark isn't alone in this. The WNBA's physical style of play has been brewing trouble for a while now.
The minute that you bulk up, the minute that you add more muscle, the minute that you add any sort of weight to your body, your mechanics change. And a lot of time with professional athletes, they will do it at kind of a slow pace to make sure that the mechanics of their body are on the same pace.
And her injury is just the latest in a growing list of warning signs. Take the Marina Mabrey incident. Not just a hard foul, but an actual eye gouge. Fans were outraged and flooded social media, calling it borderline dirty and questioning how such aggressive play keeps sliding by. That's just one example, but it speaks to a larger problem. When the league tolerates this level of physicality, especially targeting its star players, what message does that send? Then there's the insane schedule. Back-to-back games, short recovery windows. It's no wonder players are limping off the court or completely gassed midway through the season. Clark herself had just come off a grueling stretch of games. Her coach even admitted the schedule might have played a part in her injury. And it's not just about exhaustion. The non-stop wear and tear from tight turnarounds pushes players to their breaking point, leaving them more vulnerable to exactly what we saw with Clark. And she's not the only one. Just look at other players this season. Skylar Diggins-Smith has openly spoken about the challenges of staying healthy while balancing the grueling pace. Candace Parker, plagued by injuries, has struggled to keep up the same intensity. Statistics back this up too. Researchers have found that athletes in leagues with stricter recovery policies, like the NBA or overseas basketball leagues, have significantly lower injury rates. The WNBA doesn't seem to follow the same playbook, and players are paying the price. So what's the fix? Fans are screaming for the league to crack down on dangerous hits and rethink its schedule. Protecting players from dirty plays is obvious, but it's also about managing their minutes and allowing real recovery time. Caitlin's injury is a wake-up call for the WNBA, not just to save its stars, but to protect its image for the future. Without these changes, stories like this might keep repeating. Caitlin Clark's injury isn't just a personal setback, it's a glaring wake-up call for the WNBA. The league has to decide if it's going to step up and protect its most important players. Without its biggest stars, the league risks everything, from its reputation to its future growth. The fans have been clear. They want better, and they're paying attention. You can't build a league around players like Clark and then let them fall apart. The WNBA can't afford to lose the athletes who drive its success, so it's time to prioritize their safety before more careers are derailed.